Hi, everyone. I'm going to do a quick Highnote training for new users. On our team, we use Highnote for everything from recruiting new agents to sending housing information to buyers, listing presentations, and then post-closing, asking for reviews, congratulations, all of that stuff. I'm going to go through just the listing presentation, but it'll be basically the same thing for all of your templates. Once you have them set up once, you never have to set them up again type of thing. So it's pretty ingenious once you get in and start messing around with it. So this is what your home screen will look like at some point. You'll want to make sure that you go in and like update your profile and make sure that you have the photo that you want, everything like that all in there, because that'll show up at the top of every single presentation you send out. And then your home screen will be empty because you haven't done any presentations yet. But we have set up templates, so templates here that are all sorts of different meeting points where your clients are. So listing presentation obviously is listing presentation, home buying intro before we meet, home buying intro getting started. So that's typically like after your first meeting, post-closing email, the whole thing. So there's three different listing presentations in here. I'm just going to use this first one just for ease. So since Parker is the team lead, his information automatically kind of syncs in. But if you go here, use template, copy, it'll copy everything over and put your name and face at the top. So give that just 1 second to do that. Okay, so you can see my photo popped up here, name popped up here, and the first thing I would do is change this to the address, and just leave it as the address, or you can add last name of the seller or what have you. Next thing you're going to want to do is not that, sorry. You're going to want to hit change. So Highnote has an Unsplash subscription. So basically you can go through and use any stock photos that you would like. The way that I usually did it was I would just search house and then put in like a general photo of like a living room or something that's like homey that looks like high end. Perfect. Okay. So you do have a little space here for a message. I would keep this short and sweet because part of the point of Highnote is interaction with your clients, and the less you give them to read, the more likely they are to read the whole thing. So, you know, something like, thank you so much for taking the time to look through this information. If you haven't met with them yet, which typically that's the process, how this works, I would go ahead and say like, I can't wait to meet with you. As always, let me know if you have any questions, you know, etc. Whatever feels right for you. So we all know that video is the best way to make a personal connection with your client. So this first guy right here should be a video. So you can do that through BombBomb. You can do it through just recording a video on your phone and uploading it, whatever your jam is for video. That's how I would do it. If you're working through a template, you're going to hit change, and then you can either upload a file, upload from any of these, or if it's on like Vimeo or YouTube or whatever, you can enter your URL here and hit insert. and it'll insert it in. Pretty ingenious there. When you do change it, you'll have the option to change a cover photo, which it's up to you. I personally, hold on, let me see if I can find a quick video to upload to show you guys. I personally would do that. And here is why. Don't see any of my videos here. Well, most of my videos are going to be too long, so that's not going to work. Okay, I will show you on a different one, but I would upload a photo of you, like a professional photo, a headshot, what have you, just so that it's not a thumbnail of you like mid-sentence, because that's always the most unflattering photo of people. So I'll show you how to do that in a second, I promise. On every single module, you have the option to change the title or the message, or you can delete it over here. So in this, it kind of speaks for itself since it's an introduction video, but you can say like, watch this video to learn a little bit about me, or, you know, what have you. I would keep this video to like 30 seconds or shorter because it is an intro video. Don't go over all of the information you have in this presentation because it becomes redundant and a waste of time for your clients. So keep it short, keep it sweet, say their names in the video, make them feel like you're talking directly to them and you're not just sending out a mass email to all of your clients. Next one, we have it linked to our team page, and we just have a little blurb about our team. So this, I mean, you can have it be a team photo, you can have it be your team leads, what have you. But that's kind of where it links. And then it just links to our team page where everybody's information is. Okay, so that, I mean, if you want to link it somewhere else, like if you want to link it to our Facebook or whatever, you can just, again, go in here and change the link to go wherever you want it to go. If you want to edit the cover photo, you just select whatever it is that you want. And then you do have the ability to like move around and drag in and out your photos on each photo that you use. Next one, bio about yourself. So bios typically are written in the third person, right? This, since you're talking directly to your client, I mean, maybe change it to, instead of saying Hannah was born and raised in Iowa, I should say I was born and raised in Iowa, blah, blah, blah. This links to his page on our website. So it's a great use of your bio page to your website. If you want to link it again to your business Facebook page or wherever you want your clients to learn about you, that's where you should link to. And again, you can go in and change the image to whatever you want. And there are certain dimensions for these, and we do have those dimensions. So if you want something made, like a graphic made for any of these, just let us know and we can do that for you. Okay, so in this template, there are a whole bunch of things beyond that. You can arrange, so if you click and hold, you can drag and drop all of these wherever you want them. You can delete, you can add different modules. Literally anything you want to do to personalize it, you can absolutely do that. But so Parker's template has it set up where his reviews are next, which is always a good idea because people want to know how you are serving your clients. I would always link to the page that has the most reviews or link to the team page and lead into the team page if you don't have a lot of reviews. So that way it looks like you are killing it out there. And again, these can all be changed or you can leave the same wording. So totally up to you. Just remember to and then if you want a cover photo, add a cover photo. Otherwise it'll default to whatever the page looks like. So this is knock. So This is something that you may or may not want to put in to each listing presentation. I mean, I don't know why it would hurt to have it in there, but if for some reason you don't think it's appropriate, you can always take it out. And this is just a file. So this is how it'll appear for your clients. So it's just the flyer that we have in our marketing materials at the office too. But so if you ever upload a PDF, this is how it'll appear for your clients. And they do have the ability to download it as well. But yeah, so that's pretty self-explanatory. And again, all of these are optional and just kind of what, when we made the template, what we thought would be the most general speaking for most listing presentations and what you talk through. So walkthrough assessment, basically it just says you can't properly price a house without walking through. This is a stock image. So if you do want to change it, you hit unsplash and you can look again through the stock photos. Or if you have a photo of you with a client walking through a property, that would be absolutely fantastic. The more personal, the more times you can put your face on this, the more times they're going to recognize you and your face is going to stay in their heads when they're thinking about who they want to work with. So always a good idea. This is square footage consideration, which most sellers do want to talk about square footage and how that affects their pricing. So always a good idea just to mention it. If you, if you want to, you can go onto InfoSparks and look up the city or the region, depending on the situation, and look up square footage and how it affects pricing and take that graphic and upload it as a document and then keep this pretty cover photo, which is actually what I ended up doing with a lot of my listing templates. So I just think it's a little bit, again, more personal to the house and it allows them to have some solid information that they can start to think about before you get there. Next one is what's happening in the market. Of course, everybody wants to know like what's the average list price and how's the market and how many listings are there. So this obviously was for Chaska, but obviously this is an easy graph to pull that's pretty understandable across the board for people. So this is a great option. And again, this is how it'll show for your clients. So this is a great way to show kind of an overarching view of what the market's doing. And these types of graphics are super available and able to be downloaded. If you need help doing that, let me know and I can show you how to do it. And then of course your MSP. So, I mean, totally up to you. You can add, if you know that your client is super concerned about days on market or percent of original list price, you can always throw in a graph that shows that for their area so that they have a really solid grasp of what their specific market looks like. Because at the end of the day, it's all about giving them the information they need to make an educated decision and just find the best solution for their listing needs. So we want to be that. So giving them the information they need to make that decision is the best option. This is your spot for your CMA. This is like, depending on who you are and what you do, you may want to still print this out. What I did was I would do a quick CMA here, just like basically show a couple comps, say, you know, this is what we're looking at. And then I would bring a more in-depth CMA in paper so that I could lay it out how I wanted to lay it out a little bit easier. But everybody's going to do it differently and there is no right or wrong way to do that. This looks like a pretty in-depth CMA. So totally up to you with how you want to do that. And again, you just change, upload your document, and then it'll ask if you want to change the, I'll show you, I'll just insert a random document. It'll ask if you want to replace the cover image and you can either keep current or replace. And if you replace, then it'll show what is on the PDF as the first page, if it'll load. There we go. Yeah, so this is just bio questionnaire, and then you can edit cover, change image to change it to whatever you want. So whatever way you want to do that, however it makes sense for you. Again, everything is personalizable. Everything is modular, so you can change it around. These next ones are basically just about how we price and perform and market the house. So strategy basically talks about like an overarching look at the rest of this presentation. So we have a photo of our listing flyers, which is our old style, so we should update that, but I can get that in here, no problem. Sales performance, this is probably also a little, that might not be too outdated. I don't know, I can go through and update these so you guys have the most updated version, but I mean, all of these just basically are saying like, this is why you should work with us. We have a proven track record. We have, you know, the best photographers, the best stagers, all of that stuff. Operations team, this is definitely outdated, but basically just says we have full-time staff that's working around the clock to make sure that their transaction is as smooth as it can be. Marketing, staging, photographers, and as you know, we have 2 different photography companies. So I would be aware of where the property pricing might fall and make an educated decision on if you're going to send them to spacecrafting or if you're going to send them to VRX for the website, because the last thing you want to do is send them to the wrong photographer's website and end up using a different photographer. So just make sure that you're on top of that. But it is a good idea to show them who we use, what they can do, all of that stuff. And something else that you might want to consider adding in here is talking about like the Matterport 3D tour, which is included in every single one. We offer, you know, virtual staging, twilight photos, drone photos, all of that stuff. So, and then the videography piece as well. And this, I mean, if it's not over 5,000 or 500,000, then we still do our listing videos for listings. So that could also be a selling point for you. Either way, they can get a listing video. So floor plans and 3D tours, this is big because not every broker or real estate agent is going to be able to provide that for their clients. So, and all of those are just, they're not really anything attached. I mean, some of them have websites that make sense to have websites, but most of them are just like a stock image because, I mean, unless you want to put in a file of a floor plan that you've had on the past listing, but that would be the same thing as this. So, I mean, whatever's easiest, right? Disclosures. So it's always a good idea to give them the disclosures that they'll be filling out so that they can take a look and start to think about what they're going to be filling out, what they're going to have to disclose, all of that stuff. So all of those files are in that, and then they have a cover photo on here, so it's not like the front page of the disclosure, which is not fun to look at. They have a really attractive photo in here. Stock image from Unsplash, so you can do that for every single one, whatever you want to do. Pre-list inspection. I mean, yeah, always recommended. If they live in a city that requires a TIsh, maybe you mention the TIsh in here so that they're not blindsided by the fact that they have to get an inspection, you know, that whole thing. And then these last 2 are basically like the steps moving forward. So you can decide if you want to keep this or not. I mean, I would definitely say like final recommendations, allow me to tour your house. We can sit down, talk about price, set a timeline type of thing and get rolling. And then the seller's roadmap. I mean, this is just like a classic way to show kind of how the market works. So we can make one of these. Obviously, this is branded with Parker's name, but we can for all of our agents too. So yeah, that's the listing presentation. And then on every, why does this keep sliding down? On every presentation, you have a conclusion. So thank them again for their time. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Here's my contact information. Can't wait to meet with you at your home, type of thing. Always thank them again. Always, you know, set that first impression. So one of the things that we run into with Highnote is people not knowing when to send this. I would recommend that if you know that you're going to their house, you know, a week from today, then send it today so they have a week to review. Check in on them at that 3-day mark and say, hey, just want to check in, see if you were able to take a look at the information I sent over. And you're going to know if they're lying because Highnote has analytics. So every single presentation that you send, you're going to be able to see who's opening, how they're opening it, and what they're looking at, right? So for this Park Avenue in Burnsville listing, I sent, you can click on this and you can see exactly what they're looking at, how long they're looking at it, and that'll help you decide what they're most interested in, what they're going to have questions about, and if they're looking at it in the first place. If they haven't opened it and you sent it 3 days ago, you should be following up to make sure that they're staying on track. The more that you can follow up with your clients, I mean, you guys all know this, the more likely you are to win their business. So stay top of mind, use this as a tool to do that. If for some reason you get the listing appointment set for like 3 days in advance, send them, and then the night before say, hey, I don't know if you saw, sent over an email for you. I would love for you to review that before and let me know if you have any questions. And then that way, you know, you're following up, you're still staying top of mind, and you're just reminding them that you sent something over. The whole point of Highnote is to reduce the amount of time you're actually at your listing appointment and clear up questions faster than, you know, you get there and then you're there for an hour and a half giving a listing presentation on a screen, flipping through slides. It's just, this is just a much more modern way, and it allows you to be in the house building rapport instead of in front of a screen looking at the information that you've already sent them. Is this going to work for every client? No. I mean, if you have an older client that you know is maybe not the most technologically advanced, then maybe don't use this. But it does look really impressive as a tech-based brokerage and also a tech-based team to present something like this instead of like the old school version of like bringing papers or a listing presentation or whatever. I think that it's always smart to bring something with our logo on it to leave on their coffee table, which is why we have like the home selling checklist or like our team page or whatever, your bio page, whatever you want to leave. But other than that, I think this is a really good option for listing presentations specifically. And then I'll show you quickly some of the other ways that I've used Highnote. So this is a post-closing one that I've used. You know, just a little intro, whatever. I hesitate to tell people what to put in their intro because this is really where you get to share like your voice and build that rapport through the screen. So whatever makes sense for you to put in here, put it in there. And then I always did closing statement. If I got a copy of their like documents, I would upload a copy of their documents so that way they have another copy. Home warranty policy, if they got a home warranty policy, homesteading instructions, my Zillow page, and my Google page. And then that's it. Super easy, takes no time at all. And they have the links to your reviews, which is always nice. Yeah. And then again, we have templates for buyer, intro, and before and after you meet. So check those out as well. But the main thing is that they can be personalized however you want. If you guys need something to fill one of those little modular squares, let us know, we can make that for you. And if you need advice as to like how to order something or always reach out, we're here to help. So hopefully that answers a lot of questions. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.